Good afternoon, my friends. It is lovely that you're here. And it's a lovely day. Oh, what a lovely day. I don't know what it is that I find about organizing stuff to be so rewarding. Or organizing stuff with a purpose. You know, having a set thing. Even if that set thing is imagined in my own imagination. It's like, I don't know if you've ever taken those psychological exams, I suppose, that they just give you like a set of things, and like what are all the different ways that you could organize these into different groups? You know, say it's four things. Like, okay, well these four things all have, or let's see, two of them have giraffes and two of them have hippos. Like, okay, I can separate them that way. Maybe two of them are squares and two of them are circles. You can separate them that way, and so on and so forth. That's the idea. The ways in which you can separate them or group them are endless, limitless. Maybe not limitless, but anyway, there's more than one. I don't think it necessarily matters which one, but it just felt good to group things together. Think, oh, these things are similar. Let's put those together. And these things are similar in a different way. Let's group those things together. That scratches a nice itch in my brain. And combine that with a little bit of physical labor. It's nice. It feels nice. It feels fulfilling. Which, who doesn't want to feel that way? Who doesn't want to feel like their time has been well spent? Who doesn't want to feel like what they're doing has meaning? Even if the thing that they do is temporary. I mean, everything is temporary, but just the fact that it gets done is pretty cool. Why are we, like, why is there like a time limit, like an expected time limit attached to something? Say, for example, if you were to clean your house, let's say you were to vacuum your house, all right? Does it matter if it gets dirty 5 minutes after you've cleaned it? 10 minutes? An hour? A day? Does what follows, how do I, is what follows you cleaning it affect how cleaning it made you feel? If I vacuum the carpet and someone notices and say, hey, that carpet looks great, good job, I like that. That feels nice. It's like, thank you. Thank you for noticing. It's nice to be noticed. It's nice to be missed. But anyway, if I clean the carpet and the moment I finish, someone walks across it with muddy shoes, am I like, well, good thing I cleaned it? I'm like, oh, why'd you do that? I just cleaned that. Come on. Why does that elicit different reactions? Does something need to be clean for or organized for a certain amount of time before it can be, before you can move on, before you can accept that it's going to get dirty again, or, disorganized, or I don't know. You want to see it last, I guess? Are you reminiscing about the cleanliness, the way it is, the progress, I don't know, all the emotions? Maybe that's what it is. I'm not doodling very much. You have an emotion or perhaps a feeling of satisfaction. I clean the carpet, I feel satisfied. I think the moment that satisfaction wears off is the moment that I'm okay with it, or that I don't have an adverse reaction to it getting dirty again, if I'm sitting back and looking at my handiwork and be like, all right, I feel good, and somebody comes in and tramples it, well, that hurts. But if I wait a little while and then I'm like, all right, I did that, but I no longer have that sort of feeling, that it's not as fresh, Are feelings like fruit? Do they expire? Do they get stale? Do they get old? Is it not one emotion? Is it not happy? It's not you're happy, right? And it's like you go up and you go down, and you go up and down and blah, 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 right? Maybe hap. Are you hap? Sad and hap. I'm hap. Yeah. Yeah, I could say I'm hap with life. Anyway, maybe each of those emotions, each of those experiences that elicit those emotions, maybe those are their own thing. Maybe I'm hap here, and then I'll experience a different hap here. So lots of haps. I don't know. Because clearly not all happiness is the same. That's a fun face. Not all happiness is the same. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Perhaps the happiness you feel of getting a free ice cream cone is different than the happiness you feel when you see your pet dog. And maybe the happiness you feel when you see your pet dog on a Tuesday is different when you see it on Wednesday. I don't know. Do our emotions inherently change? Certainly they must. They must. Another tangent. I had a question. Someone said, or something I've said, something I've heard people say, but for whatever reason this stuck out to me this time. This person said is, your mistakes don't define you. And maybe you agree or disagree with that. Your mistakes don't define you. I thought, well, okay, if your mistakes don't define you, does that counterly mean that your successes don't define you either? And if your successes don't define you, is there something that defines you? And the thought that I had was, maybe we are undefinable. Maybe we are incapable of defining ourselves. I think that's... Is that philosophy? I don't know. Kind of seems like it. It's confusing, so it must be philosophy. Or math. Theoretical physics. There's a lot of things that are confusing. Chemistry. I don't know. But those things have, things that have like rules, but sense of self, purpose, those are abstract. Those are, lots of debates are had over those. There's a whole law system. Perhaps that is what makes us human. Our indefinability. Is it undefinability? Indefinability? Indefinite? I don't know. If one of my friends were to define me, perhaps definitions are just an easy way of doing. I'm doing a lot of more hand motions, and perhaps definitions are just an easy way, like stereotypes. It just simplifies things. Doesn't mean they're correct or accurate. It's just simplified. Like, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's like 15 till roughly. And I was like, oh, it's like 4:38. That would be actually a bad estimation, but anyway. Because if you try and give the specifics of every little thing, it's too much. And obviously or maybe not obviously, but what I decide, what you decide, what we collectively decide is important to simplify or useful to break down. Like if you have, let's say, for example, if you have a map of a subway system, right, you probably don't need to put Joe Schmo's Deli on there, right? You don't need to put where your local laundromat is. Maybe you do. You don't need to put, oh, by the way, there's 13 pieces of gum on this street. That's 4 miles from the nearest bus stop. You probably don't need that. And also, all respect to Joe Schmo. I love Joe Schmo. What is helpful? What is hapful? Oh, the tangents, the ramblings, the excuses, the thoughts, the breaks, the waves and sands and minds and winds and winds and binds of time in which I speak these words to you. In reality, I'm speaking them to nobody. So I should just doodle. Let me just doodle for a minute. Let me describe what I'm doing. Is this enjoyable? Who cares? I care, but I don't. But I do. If I draw a lopsided circle, then draw 4 dots inside that circle. You could say, well, it looks like a button. You could say, well, it looks like a cookie, like a chocolate chip cookie, perhaps. Chocolate macadamia nut? Oatmeal raisin? You could say, well, that's a head with 4 eyes. You could say, well, that's a simulacrum of the earth and 4 things on the earth. You could say, well, in a different dimension that actually looks like a vehicle. You could say it looks like a wheel. on a car with a hubcap. It could be the barrel of a gun. It could be so many things. I don't know what it is. I just put it there. It's probably fun to just scribble in a whole page. That would probably be pretty cathartic. The sound that the pen makes over the paper is kind of satisfying. Maybe that's what ASMR is. Maybe this should be ASMR. Maybe this should be ASMR. What is, because ASMR is sound, right? But what is that for, like, touch? Like, there's a physical sensation along with the audible sensation, what would you call that? The hearing sensation. There, I can feel the pen in my hand. I can feel the resistance of the paper. I can feel the tip of the pen rolling along the paper. I can see the ink being distributed. I can hear the sound that it is. I can smell the ink even. And by proxy, I guess I can taste it. Proxy? Maybe that's not the right way to use that word. Anyway. Scribbling's fun, and you end up with all these fascinating shapes. All throughout, you get these little gaps. You know, they talk about new shapes being discovered. How many times do you think those have been accidentally created? Like, there may be like a, 2 new shapes in this thing. I'll never know, though. How do you find a new shape? I have no clue. I just made that up about new shapes being discovered. Are new shapes being discovered? Maybe. Why wouldn't they be? To presume I know what all the shapes are? No. Absolutely not. A new shade of blue? New colors? The universe is incredible. I mean, come on. It is interesting how we have a collective, if I ask a question about, like, I don't know, anything, plumbing. Question about plumbing, and say, oh, we know that. We referring to all the knowledge accumulated by the human race since our creation, since our existence. Since our first exploratory days on this earth, whenever those were. Because I definitely don't have that knowledge. I don't know the darndest thing about plumbing. But I can do a good any sort of, like, contractor, maybe like a Midwest guy. I don't know, but well, that's such a good thing to say. I love that. Well, looks about right. I do. SMFM. Yes, sir. Like, I'm not even from the South. I'm not even close to from the South. But saying y'all, that's so fun. Y'all come back now. Anything y'all want? Y'all take care now. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Oh, man. I love doodling. Doodling with my brain. Making my brain say things and think things and just explode with scribbles. I got physical scribbles and verbal scribbles. I can scribble with my lips. Separate. That'd be a fun language. Separate every sound into its own sound. Separate each sound. Oh, that'd be terrible. Don't do that again. No more. Stop. Please stop. Okay. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to be happy. You can be happy anytime. I think I'm going to be happy right now. I've definitely been happy here with you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for existing. That's pretty cool. You didn't have, it's not like you forced yourself into creation, but, might as well stick around while you're here. I don't mean like, you can do whatever you want. Just say and be happy. I don't know. Be happy. That's the moral of the story today. Be happy. Take care. I'll see you next week. Also, sorry for the delay on that. That's my bad. Bye.